Sam Rinzel. Waterloo in the USHL. Oh, end-to-end, he scores! First round pick, no kidding. Look at this guy move. Are you kidding me?
Gophers coming out of their own end. Up the left side. Here comes Renzel right in. He shoots, he scores! Circle trying to flip it in front and did, but it's clear but not out. Renzel has it. Walking down low, going backwards, goes in behind the net. What a smooth skater. Breaks in the right corner. Looks, fires on goal. The rebound, they score!
Renzel down the right side, gains the line, such a smooth skater. Sam Rinzel cuts across, plays it in front, rebound, Kurgan, they score! It's Donato, the Boston native!
Let's rewind a bit. July 7th, 2022. The Chicago Blackhawks walk into the NHL Draft with absolutely no first-round picks, thanks to one of Stan Bowman's genius moves, trading away a mountain of draft capital for Seth Jones. New GM Kyle Davidson was walking into his first real test. Fans didn't know what to expect. But by the end of the night, Davidson had managed to pull off something pretty wild. 3 first-rounders after starting the night with 0. The last of those picks came when the Blackhawks agreed to take on goaltender Petr Mrazek's contract from Toronto. With that contract came the 25th overall pick. With it, Chicago stepped up to the podium and made a choice that surprised a lot of people. They called the name of a lanky, smooth-skating defenseman out of high school in Minnesota, Sam Rinzel. 6'4", right-handed shot, still needs lots of work. Most scouting outlets didn't even project him in the first round. He was labeled a project pick, someone who would take years of seasoning if he ever developed at all. For most teams, a late first-rounder like Sam Rinzel might have been tucked away into the quote-unquote low-risk, high-reward category. But 3 years later, scouts view him very differently. What stands out first is his combination of size and skating. At 6'4", Renzel isn't just tall, he moves with fluid stride, sharp edge work, and impressive transitions. Backwards skating, pivots, and mobility are frequently on display, and Chicago's player development staff has even called his size plus skating blend special for a player his frame. Offensively, Renzel is a modern puck mover. He sees the ice well, makes strong first passes, and consistently helps with breakouts and zone transitions. He has the vision to carry the puck when needed, activate into rushes, and join plays. Statistically, he's proven in the NCAA with goals, assists, and power play involvement to back up those instincts. Defensively, his long reach allows him to break up passes and maintain strong gap control. Experts highlight his poise under pressure and his ability to angle attackers, stay calm, and find outlets rather than forcing plays. His active stick and defensive reads make him difficult to attack off the rush. Projecting forward can be hard, but I think his upside lies in the blend of length, mobility, and untapped strength. With more muscle and maturity, he could leverage his frame even better in board battles and net front play. His adaptability in big NCAA moments and in brief NHL appearances suggests he can handle higher levels of competition. His shot, while decent, isn't elite yet. He still needs more accuracy, better lane selection, and creativity to get pucks through traffic. Early reports also flagged turnovers when under pressure, and while his skating is a strength, his backward footwork in tight defensive scenarios still needs refinement. In short, for the most part, Renzel is a poised, puck-moving two-way defenseman with size and agility. He can transition play, support the rush, and hold his own defensively with reach and anticipation. While still a project in some areas, strength, shot, and consistency, his athletic ceiling suggests real potential as a long-term cornerstone on Chicago's blue line. After being drafted, Renzel spent a year sharpening his game in the USHL with the Waterloo Blackhawks, then jumped to the University of Minnesota in the NCAA. By his second season with the Gophers, he wasn't just holding his own, he was excelling. In 40 games, he scored 10 goals and put up 32 points, earning the Big Ten's Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Not bad for a kid who just a few years earlier was a so-called reach. When Minnesota's Frozen 4 run ended against UMass, Renzel still had one more milestone waiting before the offseason. On March 29, 2025, he and teammate Oliver Moore signed their entry-level deals with Chicago. Less than 24 hours later, the two were already making their NHL debuts against Utah. That debut told fans a lot about Renzel. 20 minutes of ice time, 4 shots on goal, 6 attempts, 2 hits, all while looking like he belonged. Former head coach Anders Sorensen even pointed out how strong Renzel was at attacking off the blue line and advancing pucks with his feet. Within 2 games, the kid wasn't just surviving, he was thriving. Chicago promoted him to the top defensive pair with Alex Vlasic. They had him quarterbacking the first power play and even killing penalties. I just want you guys to think about how insane of a workload that is for a 20-year-old defenseman who was playing college hockey a week prior. In his first 9 games, Renzel picked up 5 assists and averaged over 23 minutes a night. By the eye test, he looked like he had been in the league for years, boys. By the numbers, he fired 22 shots on net, 2.4 per game. That's elite shot production for a rookie defenseman. I was shocked he never scored last year. So now here we are, heading into the 2026 season. And Chicago's blue line is young, really young. Outside of Connor Murphy and maybe Matt Grzelcyk, who's in camp on a PTO, the Hawks don't have a single regular defenseman over the age of 24. This year is going to be trial by fire for the kids. But even in that crowded pool of young blue liners, Renzel has managed to separate himself. His confidence stands out. His presence stands out. When asked about all the responsibility Chicago threw at him right out of the gates, his response was so calm, almost casual. He said, "No, I mean, I had the same kind of responsibility at Minnesota, so I wouldn't say it was anything new. So I was comfortable with it and knew I should do my job." That's not something you usually hear from a 21-year-old. That mindset, paired with his size and skating, is why so many people believe Renzel might never see a day in the AHL. Renzel's already up to 195 pounds after bulking up this summer, he's polishing his shot, and he's gunning to prove he belongs full-time. Connor Bedard is obviously the face of the Blackhawks rebuild, and he'll grab most of the headlines. Frank Nazar is going to draw eyes too, but Renzel, he could quietly become one of the most important rookies in the league this season. If he picks up right where he left off last spring, quarterbacking the power play, eating 20+ minutes a night, generating offense from the back end, he won't just be a nice story. He could legitimately enter the Calder conversation. And not to say it's guaranteed. Development isn't linear. Maybe he starts the season in Rockford. Maybe he hits a wall at some point. But the tools are there, the confidence is there, and the Blackhawks are giving him every chance to prove himself. So when you're thinking about rookies this season, don't just look at the forwards. Keep an eye on number 6, Sam Rinzel, because if things go right, he might just shock a lot of people. That's why I think Renzel is worth watching this year. From project pick to my own dark horse Calder Trophy candidate, it's been a fast rise. Chicago desperately needs a defenseman like him to click and stabilize their rebuild. And that's a wrap for today. Thanks so much for watching. Drop your thoughts down below on Renzel's call-up last year. Were you impressed? Do you think he gets a real shot at surprising people this year? Let me know in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, hype, and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you boys in the next one.